asshole for telling my sister to stop leaving her room when she's wearing her nightgown. My 26 female sister moved in with me and my husband a few days ago. This happened because she was no longer able to pay rent for her apartment. She had lost her job and she had recently divorced. Me and her agree about most things. However, recently I'm finding that her nightwear is just inappropriate. She usually wears silky nightwear. She says it's just her style, but she walks around the house like that. My husband hasn't seen her like it. However, I don't want to argue with my husband when he does. I suggested she buy some PJs, but she says that she doesn't feel comfortable in them. Last night I saw her in the kitchen grabbing something from the fridge, and she was dressed in purple, strapped knee-length nightgown. I tried to speak to her about it, but it didn't go well. We started arguing, and I ended up telling her to stop leaving her room while she's wearing stuff like that, and she says there's nothing wrong with what she's wearing. It wasn't like she was walking around naked or had her assets out. I told her it's my home and she's a guest, and should just respect my request, but responding saying that just because she lives there doesn't mean she has to be controlled by what she wears. We haven't talked since then, and she's refusing to talk about it. Am I the asshole? I think you are the asshole. I think your trust issues are with your husband. If you don't trust your husband around a woman in a nightgown, I think that you might want to look somewhere else. But yeah, I think that it's nothing to do with your sister. Your sister's wearing a very casual pyjama choice for women of the night times. If it was lingerie, fair enough, but it's just silky nightwear, and you said it was knee-length, so it's not like it's showing off her butt or her front part. So I think that you are the asshole, in my opinion. Time for story number 2. Am I the asshole for leaving Thanksgiving dinner at my mother-in-law's house after I discovered that she threw out the dish I brought? I'll keep this short. I, 27, female and 5 months pregnant, I have pre-existing health issues that I manage by having a diet with no meat of any sort. This has caused me and mother-in-law to have conflicts, especially when I refuse to eat the food she makes. I used to either come and not eat anything, or just stay at home. Since I'm pregnant, I cannot attend Thanksgiving and not bring food with me out of respect for mother-in-law. I cooked a small meal and brought it with me. Mother-in-law made a fuss about it but justified it as I was making a mistake, robbing her grandbaby of getting all meat benefits. I explained that I take supplements as a replacement, but she shrugged and was upset. We waited till dinner table was set. Mother-in-law didn't let me help or go into the kitchen at all. She took my dish and said she really ate it for me and put it on the table. Yet, when I sat down, I was stunned to have discovered that she had not put my dish there. When asked publicly, she denied receiving any dish from me and started asking if I left it at home. There was a huge blow-up. Mother-in-law tried to convince me to sit down and eat what was at the table. I refused, but my husband insisted and told me to let it go. I decided to leave. I grabbed my stuff and walked out. I found out that she threw out the dish I had brought and tried to get me to just eat what she puts on her table. She said that she was looking out for her grandbaby's health, and my husband said it wasn't worth leaving the celebration and causing a scene. We had a big argument, and his mum thinks I'm being dramatic and hard to deal with. Was I the asshole walking out? Info: the dish I brought was supposed to keep me full and provided me with all the benefits that were needed for me and the child. It wasn't like I was going to be eating a small salad. I was put work into making it, and it cost me money. She keeps insisting it's about her grandbaby and her concern for their health. Okay, so you are not the asshole. Your grandmother is inserting herself in places that she should not be. Sorry, your mother-in-law is inserting herself in places that she should not be. Your baby's health is for you to figure out, and if you're taking supplements, you're doing just as you should. Your husband is concerning that he did not stand up for you after knowing that you took the dish there. I think that's something you guys need to talk through, because if my partner didn't stand up for me in that situation, I would be very, very, very frustrated. your kids having space for themselves is really, really selfish and really, really not fair. So I think you really need to consider your priorities there about your own children. You're definitely the asshole, and all of the comments agree with me, luckily. Time for story number 4. Am I the asshole for changing my mind about merging finances with my fiance? I, 39 male, am engaged to Tina, 32 female. We work in different fields and I make about 15% more than her. When we were dating, we got along so well that we knew we'd be together forever. We talked about it often and decided to combine our finances when we do get married. Then we got engaged and things fell apart when I discovered everything about our finances. I've always lived a frugal life. I wear ordinary clothes and drive ordinary cars. Tina has always dressed better and she's always drove better cars. It's been a running joke in our friend group that she's marrying down. I've always laughed and didn't mind because she looks amazing. She looks like she's just stepped out of a magazine cover. Now that we're engaged, we went through our finances in detail. I don't want to go into much detail, so I'll be brief. The money that I don't spend, is the money that I invest. My assets and investments are roughly 20% of hers. She has about 50k across different cars and 75k on an electric car. If she cashes out her investments in retirement, she still can pay off her debt. I was shocked into silence. I don't make that much more than her, so I figured that our asset levels are pretty close. I never imagined that would be such a wide gap, and that doesn't even include her debt. After thinking about it for weeks, I told Tina the other day that I want to keep our finances separate until she pays off her debt. I don't want to say I do and immediately take on 125k in debt. If I'm being honest, I'm also thinking about talking to an attorney about the pros and cons of a prenup. I didn't tell her about the attorney part because she blew at me for going back on our merging agreement. She argued that we always talked about joining our lives and sharing everything, and now I'm having doubts. I told her I have no doubts about spending the rest of my life with her. I just don't want to take on so much debt. Am I the asshole for changing my mind? I don't think you're the asshole, no. I think that that's a lot to suddenly discover, and the fact that it wasn't clear until you were close to marriage is a bit concerning. But I definitely don't think you're the asshole. I do think that this opens up a portal to potentially be the asshole in the future, though. You need to establish some clear boundaries going forward. Otherwise, it's going to be a downward spiral. You're going to find yourself questioning, why is she getting herself something new? And she's going to always be on edge, you know. You gotta figure out now what you're gonna do going forward, because she might have been viewing you as a get out of jail free card. You don't know. You need to understand what's gonna happen now. But yeah, you are not the asshole. Time for story number 5. Am I the asshole for asking 3 kids to leave a restaurant? Last night, me and my fiance were at a sushi restaurant. The restaurant was starting to get busy, and it's a very, very small restaurant. It can maybe seat 25 people. 3 young boys came in and were being very loud and obnoxious. They said very loudly they were coming in to warm try to include him, especially when my dad takes me and my friend places. My brother tries to bond with my dad and then gets upset when my dad doesn't treat him the same as me. Last time he got mad because my dad treated him the same way he would treat my friends. My dad took me and some friends to a court arcade in another city. I didn't invite my brother this time. I didn't even mention it. But my dad had to because he was taking me so far away. My mum was pissed when I got to her house. My brother was upset and told me he's being left out. I told him it's not that, but he needs to understand that he makes things very awkward when he chases my dad. He told me my dad should be there for him, and he's just a kid without a dad, and how can I not be mad at him? Him being the dad. My brother and her family told me I should be ashamed of myself for excluding my brother. I argued back that it always ends badly when he's there, and I'm done letting him think that he can use that time to get close to dad, because clearly dad doesn't want to raise him. I was called a shitty brother. Am I the asshole? You are not the asshole, in my opinion. Your mother had an affair. She created an offspring that belongs to someone else. Your dad didn't stick around because of the cheating, not because of the child. Because your dad didn't stick around, he does not have any responsibilities to raise that child. If he stayed with his mum, however, and treated you guys differently, this would be a different story. However, he left, as he should have. He is your dad. He is not your brother's dad. It's okay to invite your brother along to things, but it's weird for him to want him to be your dad, his dad even. You're not the asshole. You're a normal kid, and it's really shitty of your mum to want to act that way towards her child. You've done nothing wrong. You're not the asshole. Story number 7, I think. Am I the asshole for not allowing my best friend to wear my red bottom heels to her bridal shower? I, female, 29, have a childhood best friend of over 16 years who's getting married next month. We've always borrowed each other's stuff, just as best friends do. I want to say this first, I'm not materialistic. I received the shoes from my mum as a gift, and I've only worn them 2 times. They are my special occasion heels, and they mean a lot to me because I know my mum worked really hard to be able to give me them. Yesterday, my best friend came over, and she wanted to borrow black heels, and I was like, yeah, go through the closet. And she pulled the box out, tried them on, and was like, oh my god, these are the ones that will go perfect with my dress. I then said, I'd love to let you borrow anything but those. And she said, seriously, it's my bridal shower. I said, I know, I'm just not comfortable with you wearing them. She took them off and said, don't worry about the shoes, I'll find my own. She left a few minutes after and texted me saying that wasn't cool, and then she would do it for me. I just wrote back and said, I know, but I would also respect your things. It's been a day and I haven't heard from her. Am I the asshole for not feeling bad? You're not the asshole in this situation. You're also not the asshole for not feeling bad. You know, if you've been best friends for 16 years, she would understand that the sentimental value behind something. She wouldn't ask to wear your underwear that you had worn before. You know, she wouldn't ask to borrow your other type of things. It's not that special occasion. That wasn't really expensive. Had she broke them because she has a wedding come up, she might not be able to afford to even fix them. And on that note, a bridal shower normally involves drinking, and normally it does not involve your shoes being the main centre of care. has work later than I do. She likes a huge breakfast. She usually has eggs, French toast, pancakes, hash browns, potatoes, sausages or bacon. Sometimes on weekend it's ham or steak. She eats almost nothing for lunch and usually has a smallish dinner, but she loves a huge breakfast. Meanwhile, I only have cold cereal for breakfast, or maybe if I'm feeling really ambitious, some instant oatmeal and orange juice. I only even start to come alive halfway through my second cup of coffee, and definitely don't feel like cooking in the morning. However, my girlfriend obviously does, so recently I had asked if she'd make something for me too. She asked if we were going to trade off, and I told her no, but I did remind her that I often make dinner for her as well. She said that we will often trade off making dinner, so that we should trade off making breakfast too. I told her that I would never be able to muster that kind of energy first thing in the morning, but that since she obviously can, that she should make me breakfast too. I said that it would be no extra effort. It started a fight with her saying that it wasn't fair for me to expect her to do that in the morning if I couldn't do the same with her. She seems to think that her making breakfast for me should figure into our division of labour, and that I should do something extra in return. I think that since she makes a huge breakfast for herself every morning, that throwing an extra portion of whatever she's making would make no effort on her part. So why should I have to do more in her return than I already do? Okay, so I don't think you're the asshole. However, let me finish that. I don't think you're the asshole. I think that no, sorry, let me say that again. You are the asshole. However, in that situation, I think that your partner, it shouldn't be 50-50 stuff. That's really big type of agreement with your partner. It shouldn't be a trade-off for something else. If you're able to help your partner in any way you can, that doesn't take much effort, you should. So you are the asshole because of how your dynamic of your relationship works. It seems that saying that it takes no effort and the expectation is unfair. However, I think in a relationship you should not have it as trade-offs. So maybe that's why you're not the asshole, but if you've already got an established relationship that you like and you want to have a future with, then I think you are the asshole. And I think that you need to say to her, okay, you do breakfast, I do dinner, or something similar. Time for story number 9. Am I the asshole for refusing to give up my seats and being crass about it? I, 36 female, flew home for Thanksgiving this week and got on an early flight this morning, so I'll be able to do laundry tomorrow and relax before going to work. I'm a plus-size woman, so when I booked my flights, I spent extra money and booked 2 adjacent seats, so whoever had the third seat in my row would not have to be squished up in my business. Flying out was great. The other person in my row was cool, and we shared the middle seat and snacks and played Pokemon on our switches and even visited each other's Animal Crossing islands. Flying home was where things became a bit more problematic. I was settled into my pair of seats and a gentleman tried to sit his daughter in my middle seat. When my mum was taking up a good third of the middle seat, I said politely, "I'm sorry, that seat is booked. Your daughter can't sit there," while putting my hand on the other 2/3 of the seat. He immediately complained that he hadn't been able to book seats together and he needed to sit with his daughter. I shrugged and said I was sorry, but it wasn't my problem. That wasn't his seat. He called over a stewardess to complain. I explained my situation and showed my pair of tickets. The flight attendant offered to comp my extra seat. I said no thank you. I needed the extra room and waved to where my bum was partway into the middle seat. The stewardess came back 10 minutes later with a wife from a couple who agreed to switch seats so the man could sit with his daughter, but not without attempting to shame me for not willing to help out the dad. The woman who switched seat was rude, not the stewardess. I said, "I booked early and I booked 2 seats together, because to put it plainly, I'm fat. His 2 seats were separate. How exactly do you propose I split my fat ass in half to sit one half in one seat and the other half in his other seat?" The woman turned red in the face and bitched at me for being disgusting. I replied that the lack of his planning was not my emergency, and she scowled at me for the entire rest of the flight. She booked 2 seats because she's fat. She was very, very prepared. Having a kid, you should also be prepared. When you have a kid, 9 times out of 10 you aren't doing random flights. So to not be prepared is unfortunately the man's fault. So that's all I can say. You're not the asshole in that situation. Most people think you are though. But you did what you're supposed to, you know. At least you didn't book 1 seat and show up. Yeah, you admit that you're fat and take up 2. You paid for those seats. You were in the right, in my opinion. Time for story number 10. Am I the asshole for leaving festivities early after what my mother's boyfriend did to my laptop? I, 30, male, visited my mother for Thanksgiving, and my plan was to stay until Monday. Little did I know that when my mother picked me up from the airport, my ex-stepfather was there in a car as a surprise from my mother. My mother was married to this man and divorced years ago, and are now back together. A little context for this man though, he made my life a living hell growing up, and was very controlling. He would not be supportive, and he gaslit us consistently. My mother is lonely. So, Friday, I had to work on some crucial work-related things that came up out of nowhere, and I was on my laptop in my room finishing those things up. My mother called me to dinner, and I asked her to give me a few minutes because I needed to finish my train of thought with this email I was sending. My brother's boyfriend then opened the door and said it's time to eat now, and I asked him to give me a few minutes. He then proceeded to turn on my laptop, and I stopped him to the point where it didn't just shut down automatically, but it still shut down and I lost my email. I was typing along with some other work files. He and I got into verbal altercation, and I said that he doesn't control me anymore and that he's completely out of line. To which he said this is, isn't it, my mother's house and it's their rules. I got irritated to the point where I said to both of them that I'll be changing my flight, and once I am treated like an adult and not a teenager, I would come back for Christmas. That's exactly what I did. I got a later flight, Ubered there and left for home early. I've been doing some self